Hello, good morning, my viewers. I'm welcoming you to my channel, Everyday English. And I promise you that it's going to be a very nice time. You're going to be learning so many things in English language on this channel. And today we're going to be looking at something very important. But before that, I am your instructor, Moyosore Kolade. And don't forget I said before that it's going to be a very interesting time being here with you. I promise. Okay, we're looking at parts of speech. Parts of speech is an aspect in English language, particularly, sorry, it's a topic in English language, particularly on the grammar. We have various aspects: its comprehension, composition, structure of grammar, literature, vocabulary development, and speech work. Good. But we are going to be looking at grammar today and we're looking at parts of speech. It's going to be fun, I promise you. Okay, we have 8 parts of speech in English language. Eight parts of speech. Now, before we look at them, let's get started with spelling. The spelling we are doing today has something to do with our parts of speech. The very first one I have here is naming. In our research to be a naming word. That's why I put up this word. Then we have replacing. A pronoun is a replacer because it is used to replace a noun. Then number 3 we have state, and number 4 action. Both of them have to do with verb. The verb is said to be an action verb. Meanwhile, the verb can also show a state of being, showing us, telling us what something stands for or who something is at a particular point in time. For instance, I can say I am a woman. So am is the verb showing the state of being about who I am at that point in time. Okay, and we have number 5, which is qualifier. An adjective qualifies a noun or a pronoun. That means it tells us the quality of a noun or a pronoun. An adjective also describes. It also describes. That's why we have number 6 as describe. Then number 7 modifier. An adverb modify. It modifies a verb. It gives an additional information about the verb. And number 8, we have position. That has to do with preposition because it shows the relationship between one thing or another, or the position of one thing to another. Take for instance, your instructor, Kolade Moyosori, is speaking behind the screen. So behind is the prepositional word showing the position or relationship between me and the screen. Good. Then number 9 we have join. Conjunction is said to be a joining word. It joins letters, words, clauses, phrases, sentences. Mention them. Good. Then we have the last one, which is emotion. That has to do with interjection. Interjection shows emotion. The emotion can be a sad one, it can be a happy one, that of celebration and all that. And we have ways that are used to express this. Like for instance, for happiness, you can say, wow, or surprise. Wow. Then hooray too, for celebration. Hooray. Ooh. 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 To show what sadness, especially when we're crying. So let's move forward. Now let's take a look at the parts of speech one after the other. And I must remind you that another word for parts of speech is word class. Now they are as follows. But 8 of them are as follows. We have noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. These are the 8 that we have. But today we're looking at noun. Now, can you mention the names of things you can do, both living and non-living things? Good. All those things are called nouns, and we agree with me that they have their names. Good. Now, a noun is therefore a naming word. And I know you can see a person, you must have seen one person or the other, or people around you at one time or the other. An animal, you can say animal or an animal around you. You can mention a place or you're in a place at this point in time. You can mention a thing around you or so many things around you. All those things are nouns since they have their names. Now, there are different types of noun, namely, we have abstract noun, we have concrete noun, we have countable noun, we have uncountable noun, we have collective noun, we have proper noun, common noun, and then we have compound noun. Let's start with abstract noun. Abstract noun or abstract nouns, and they're not so much the name of things as the name of qualities or ideas. They don't exist in the material world. That means we can't physically touch them, although we know they exist. E.g., for example, of abstract noun, the words like happiness, love, anger, whiteness, anger, speed. All those ways, they don't actually know that we cannot touch them, right? So they don't exist in the material world, and you can touch them, but they actually are things that we can feel, right? Yeah. When somebody is showing happiness or expressing happiness, or when you're expressing happiness, you can feel it all around you, right? Love. When someone is showering love or showing love, you can actually see it. Whiteness. You can see the anger. You can feel it, so you can feel it, but you can't touch those things. Speed. When someone is emotion, actually at a very high speed, you can feel it, right? But you can't touch the speed, right? And that's why we say it's the abstract nouns, things that don't exist in the material world. Now let's look at the sentient examples of abstract noun. Anger is a small madness. Anger is an example of abstract noun there. Faith is one of the arms in each grade of the scale. Faith, you cannot touch me. But when someone has faith, don't. And then we're looking at concrete noun. It's just the opposite of abstract noun. They both have to do with things. Abstract noun and concrete noun, two of them have to do with things. But for abstract noun, you cannot touch. While for concrete noun, you can touch. It's a kind of noun that deals with things that we can touch. Examples of concrete nouns are table, chair, book, pen, pencil, etc. Now let's look at the sentence examples of concrete noun. Number one, there is a table in the classroom. You can touch a table. Number two, I am writing in a book. You can touch a book. Good. Now, countable noun is a noun that you can count just as the name suggests. For instance, you can count people, you can count animals, you can count places, you can count things around you. Examples of things that we can also count in states. We have 36 states in Nigeria. We have Google Map. We can count them. Abia, Umaya, Adamawa, Yola, Akwa Ibom, etc. Pens, we can count pens. Bags, boys, dogs, etc. These are things that we can count. Now, examples of countable nouns, or sentence examples of countable nouns. Number one, we have I bought 2 fancy bags. Bags can be counted. Number two, I need 4 books for my classroom. Books can also be counted. Good. Now, uncountable noun. That's the opposite of countable noun. You cannot count them. And I can mention things that we cannot count, like water, salt, sugar, etc. Now, sentence examples of uncountable noun. I need some water. You cannot count water. Rice is very expensive. You can count rice. Do not add much salt to the pot of soup. You cannot count salt also. We have several examples. Although these uncountable nouns can be made countable using particle, but we're not looking at that today. That will be another time. Okay? Now, it's time for collective noun. These are nouns that stand for a number of things considered as one or as a group. And most times, collective nouns take a singular verb, but they can also take plural verb depending on the sentence structure. Now, examples of collective nouns are crowd. For instance, a crowd of people. flock, we can say crowd. I saw a large crowd yesterday on my way to Lagos. Flock, herd, bouquet, etc. Now, sentence examples of collective noun. The crowd was one of the largest I have ever seen. The flock of sheep is coming down the hill. Number 3. The class has an English lesson oven. So the crowd, the flock of sheep, the class, these are a lot of examples of collective nouns. Now, proper noun. They are the particular names of people, animals, places, or things. Or we can say specific names of people, animals, places, or things. And proper nouns usually begin with capital letter. Each of them has to start with capital letter. Now let's take the example of days of the week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. Months of the year, January, February, March, etc. Names of subjects, English language, agricultural science, social studies, mathematics, etc. Names of rivers, River Niger, River Mississippi, River Nile. Names of places, Nigeria, China, Aba, Kano, Lagos, Lalaye, Umoga. Names of people, BC, Ali, Ekong, Obi, etc. Now, sentence examples of proper nouns. Stanley is a businessman. Stanley is a good example. I went to Lagos. The name of my pet was Jack. Jack. So these are examples of proper noun, the underlined words there. Now let's look at common noun. They're the names given to all people or things or places of the same kind, e.g., man, human, dog, animal. We can say general names. A dog is a dog anywhere you're going to work. I don't want to know the kind of dog it is, right? A man is a man, a human is a human. Good. An animal is an animal. Now, sentence examples of common noun. I am a dog. Dog is a good example. I saw a dog on the way to school. Dog is another good example. Now, the last one is compound noun. Compound noun is a noun that is made with two or more words. It is usually noun plus noun or adjective plus noun. But there are other combinations. And let's take a look at one after the other. Compound noun comes in three forms. We have hyphenated nouns when you have hyphen between two words. The first one, sits park. Closed or solid, that there is no space or hyphen between words. Bedroom. Or open, there is space between words. Bedroom. Now, let's look at the compound elements again with examples. Noun plus noun. Bedroom, water. Bedroom, water. That's another example of a compound noun. The two of them are what? The two of them are nouns. Bedroom is a noun, water is a noun. Tank, motorcycle. Tank is a noun, motorcycle is a noun. Printer, cartridge. Printer is a noun, cartridge is a noun. So you can have it in that form. A noun plus verb. Rainfall, haircut. Good. The first one is a noun. The second one is a verb. Train, sporting. The first one is a noun, train, and sporting is a what? Is a verb. So that's another combination that you can have. A noun plus adverb. Anger on. Anger is a noun. On is an adverb. Pass by. Pass is a noun and by is a what? Is an adverb, sorry. Then verb plus noun. That's another combination. Washing, mashing. Driving, license. Swimming, pool. So washing, that's a verb. Noun, mashing. Driving, that's a verb. License, that's a noun. Swimming, that's a verb. Pool, that's a noun. So that's another combination that you can have. And with that, we're going to draw the curtain here today. I hope you've actually enjoyed yourself and you've learned so much about noun today. Don't forget, we have 8 parts of speech in structure or grammar, and then we've looked at one of them today, which is a noun. We have 8 of them. So we've looked at noun, and I hope you had really had a nice time. You learned so much about noun, the types of noun that we have, ranging from abstract to concrete, to countable, uncountable, to proper noun, to common noun, to compound noun. Good. Do have a very nice time, and then don't forget to subscribe more of my presentations on this channel, and then don't forget to recommend this to your friends, and you're free to drop your comments or any observation that could make this channel a better one. Until I come your way another time, this is Moyosori Kolade saying thank you and bye.